2-year break. Now he's back on the comedy scene, ladies and gentlemen. Say hello to Steve Salzberg. Go ahead.
Get situated here. Okay. Well, I am Steve, and I'm going to go a different route tonight. I'm Jewish. And I want you to know that growing up Jewish in a Christian world is tough. It's also painful. Fortunately, we learn about pain in an early age with circumcision. Now, I got to tell you, it takes some fun people to mutilate the genitals of their sons and then have a party. That's what it's all about. Been married twice. They made a movie about my first marriage. It was very popular. 12 Years a Slave. I have 6 children. That's right. In this day and age, believe it or not, I have 6 children. I'm like a black man in a white man's body. Difference is, they all know where to find me on Father's Day. Lost a lot of weight this year, lost 60 pounds. Yes, I was really fat before. But I will tell you that being heavy my whole life has helped. I mean, it kept me away from doing drugs. I never did drugs. I mean, think about it. Weed, the munchies, I absolutely do need not any stimulation to eat more. No way. And anything heavier, listen, I can't control myself around Twinkies. I'm not about to introduce cocaine into that equation. I will tell you, though, the kids today are getting very creative. Do you know they're doing vodka enemas to get high? Seriously. They take vodka, they put it in a bag, they put a pipe in their ass, and they get high very fast because the absorption, as far as I'm concerned, it gives a whole new meaning to getting shit-faced. But I'll tell you, the times today, I'm so tired of all the talk about bullying. You know, everything's bullying. Today, you call a kid fat boy, 4 eyes, pizza face. You get thrown out of school, even worse. When I was a kid, that was called character building. And what's all this talk about the Barbie doll and Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition? I don't know, they say it's young girl image. I think it's older women jealousy. I don't see a lot of hot moms and very attractive women complaining. I see a bunch of women built like me wearing yoga pants and spandex. Protest. I don't like it. And I'm going to tell you, you got to know your limits. Yoga pants and spandex, anything should not be made larger than a size 10. To give you a visual, picture me standing up here tonight entertaining you in a Speedo. Not be very attractive. I have a friend, you know, I like older, gentler times. I have a friend, she's a sweetheart, born in Italy, raised in Venezuela, came to America when she was a teenager. Very, very naive lady. She gets married, she has a baby, goes to the hospital, and she's amazed at American culture. She thinks that every time the baby needs something, it shows up at her door. She gets home from the hospital, runs out of the diapers they give her. Sure enough, Pampers sends a sample. Wow, perfect. She runs out of formula, Enfamil sends a sample. Well, one day, her poor little baby daughter is teething. She doesn't know what to do. She's tried every home remedy. Doorbell rings, postman comes with a brown box. She opens it up, and inside the brown box is a plastic vibrator. She knows nothing about plastic vibrators. She assumes a dental company knew her baby would be teething and sent this plastic teething device. She gives it to the baby. Baby's sucking and chewing on it, happy as a clown. Dad comes home, takes one look at what's going on, freaks out. Takes mom in the bedroom, gives her the skinny on vibrators. Mom's shocked, has no idea. But I will tell you this. The next day, the kid had a new teething device, and mom had a new favorite toy. Same woman. Kids get older. She goes and she participates in the bake sale at school. Great baker, makes wonderful things. She comes in with a full assortment of baked goods, and one of the moms sees this amazing cupcake and says, "Oh my God, I gotta buy one." She buys it, she peels it down, she takes a bite, she makes an incredibly happy face, and she goes, "Oh my God, Gloria, This is orgasmic. She has no idea what it means, but she knows from the happy face it's a good thing. An hour later, the principal comes by, looks on the table, sees the cupcakes. He buys one. He bites into it, and he says, "Oh my God, this is one of the best cupcakes I ever ate." She looks at him and she says, "But is it orgasmic?" Should have brought some water up here. Oh, thank you. That was good. No, thank you. Anybody up on the Oscar Pistorius murder trial in South Africa? I've been watching it every day. Listening to his defense, hearing what he has to say. Quite frankly, I don't think he has a leg to stand on. Other words. You ever think about words that are kind of interesting, but you don't really know? Everybody's getting me passed around water. Is that it? Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, horrific. Horrific is a great word to describe a terrible car accident or someone that's been terribly disfigured. Do you know that for years I thought it was a compliment of a great prostitute? No idea. And where does this term, happy as a clam? Seriously, I mean, I used it a few minutes ago, but happy as a clam. Let me get this right. You live on the bottom of the ocean, you eat fish shit, plucked out of the water, you get decapitated and put on a plate. Happy as a clam. I don't understand. And why is a crime committed in broad daylight so much worse? Do you really think the victim cares if it was noon or dusk? I mean, what are we doing here? And why is it that so few workers can really cut the mustard, but anybody can cut the cheese? And you gotta wonder about career choices. Like, does anybody really go to medical school to be a proctologist? See, I don't think so. I think they all go to medical school to be brain surgeons and cardiologists. About 6 months into the classes, Dean puts his arm around his shoulder and says, "You're not quite cutting the mustard. Grades are a little low. We think you need to set your sights a little lower." As a matter of fact, proctology in Latin means go 3 feet lower. I had to go to a proctologist once, and it's kind of a humiliating thing. I mean, I don't know if you ever did it, but you're up on a table, you're on all fours, you're hanging out, and the proctologist says to me, "Listen, I'm going to insert a sigmoid scope, and you may feel as though you have to evacuate or have gas." And I'm sitting there wondering why this guy's warning me when his face is 6 inches from the evacuation zone. And what about poor Sigmoid? I mean, you got Jarvik. He'll forever be known as the guy that invented the artificial heart. But Sigmoid will always be known as the guy that invented a pipe to get shoved up your ass. I think there's an injustice there, I really do. But anyway, he's examining me, and he decides to get into a conversation. He wants to chat it up. He wants to learn about who I am. So he says to me, "What do you do for a living?" And I tell him I'm a salesman. He actually stops the exam, steps back, and goes, "Wow, how do you deal with that kind of rejection?" I turn back to look at him and I go, "I gotta tell you, pal, at least in my line of work, the worst thing I have to worry about is possibly getting a door slammed in my face." Thank you all very much. You've been great.
One more time for Steve, everybody. One more time. A triumphant return for Steve. All right, you guys ready to keep the showing? We have a...